With no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Next item on the agenda, 9C, discussion of and consideration of an interlocal agreement with Harrison County for jail services. Ms. Agner.
Yes, I received a notice of termination from the county of our current jail contract. They also sent along with that notice a proposed contract, interlocal agreement for the jail services. Just briefly to touch on the original contract, I believe was entered into in 2010. The contract provided for $40 per day per inmate, $0 on the day of disposition. So anyway, that has been changed to where they're going to charge $40 a day for every day, but on the day that the prisoner is released, they will charge $40 as well. So that is an increase. In addition to that, on the first day, in addition to the $40, they're going to charge an administrative fee of $28.
How much was that? 28?
So we got
So
40.
$68 for day one, an increase of $28 for the first day, and they're increasing $40 a day for the day that the prisoner is released, where we were paying $0 on that particular day.
So we had an approximately $70 $68 increase
$68
per inmate that we take.
housing, yes. So anyway, in your packet, we provided information just based on last year's arrest, what that would have meant in terms, and we showed that we basically were billed about just over $26,000, and under the terms of the new contract, we will need to provide for, should you choose to approve this agreement, that amount would have gone up about $29,000. So basically a little more than doubling the current contract. But we have received that notification of termination, and there may be something that the city attorney would like to speak to, and I know that Chief Compa would like to talk about any alternatives that he has explored and his recommendation of what we need to do. Todd, do you have anything?
No, I'll get there now.
Okay.
Here's what they presented again.
Good evening, Chief Campa, Marshall Police Department. We went ahead and looked at some options that we could consider. We made contact with Gregg County, Marion County, and Upshur County to see if they would be willing to contract with us to house our inmates, our Class C inmates. At this time, we've received notice from Gregg County and Upshur County, Gregg County and Marion County that they would charge us $40 for each day to include the day of release. Marion County has informed us that they have no room to take any prisoners, so, I mean, if they could, that's what they would charge. However, they're not interested in taking any of our inmates. Gregg County said that they would house our inmates, again, same thing, $40 per day, including the day of release. However, we would be responsible for transporting them to the facility, which would require a 30-minute drive. In a perfect world, would require a 30-minute drive, 30-minute processing time, and a 30-minute drive back. As a condition of the contract, we would also be required to pick up the individual once they are released from their jail time, which would require us to take another officer off the street, a day or two after to go back, another 30 minutes, 30-minute processing time, 30-minute back. So in essence, for one inmate, you could be tying that officer up for 3 hours. On top of that, you have to have our city judge would have to drive down there to do bond reductions and bond hearings and stuff like that. So at this time, you'd also have to take account that there's going to be wear and tear on the vehicle for transporting back and forth. We feel that, unfortunately, that is not does not seem like a feasible option for us to do. So I guess what we're recommending is that we go ahead and accept the offer with a condition that maybe we could still attempt to try to negotiate and see if anything changes, but
So-
I don't think we have a choice.
So I guess from the contacts in which you've made at this point, we get, I mean, give you that there is transportation costs that are going to be associated with moving, but theoretically, we would get, if we were closer, a better deal from Gregg County to house our inmates than our own Harrison County? I mean, because they don't have the administrative fee. So
Right.
theoretically, our taxpayers, the city of Marshall taxpayers that have helped fund this jail, that help fund the overhead through our county tax dollars, would get a better rate if we essentially took our inmates to Gregg County or Marion County versus keeping them home at a jail within our city limits?
Yes, I mean, you'd be saving the $28 processing
Right.
fee. So-
Which adds up.
Which
I mean, it
is,
does.
No, and I agree with your recommendation. I think that from the logistics standpoint, it would not make sense for us to go to Gregg County or Marion County at this point. I guess I have a hard time believing that it would be cheaper for us if we didn't have the logistics of transporting our folks to Gregg County, that our neighboring counties would provide a cheaper rate to house our inmates than our home county that theoretically has the jail within our city limits right down the street.
Right. And that's why I'm requesting that, we still got some time, and we can maybe go to the table and try to negotiate, a better rate if we can, and if not, then I think that, this is actually the best offer that we have, and the most feasible one. It does double it, but, it is what it is.
now, when is the termination to take place? I know we received a notice of termination.
What do you think, the
30.
11th?
It was about a week ago,
It's-
and by the end of the month or something?
So we're not bringing anyone in the county right now?
No.
No,
They gave us a month notice that they were
The County
terminating the agreement.
Commissioners Court voted on this on July 11th. The notice of termination in the letter that I received was dated, I believe, July 14th.
It was the first budget meeting.
There was no date on the notice of termination, but so I'm assuming 30
After July
days from
14th.
day of action or the 14th, one of those 2 days.
So the
So it's
30
already
days.
in effect.
So essentially, we've got to pass this, but I guess I
Okay,
wanted
because it's
to point
already
out.
rolling.
Well, it was kind of a take it or leave it. I mean,
Yeah,
it was,
you-
it's
there's no
already- It's already
negotiation.
signed, it came
No
signed and
negotiation.
terminated. There was
Like I
no
said,
opportunity to,
still think it's funny that it's
Right.
cheaper for us to theoretically go to Gregg
So,
County.
and there's
if we
not
didn't
an
have
ability for
transportation.
us to, I mean, and I agree with what Commissioner Neal's saying here, that, if you can get the same comparable service in another county, I'd want to hear what justifies that $28 registration fee. And it looks like really we were underpaying the last few years if we got the day of release.
I don't think we were underpaying.
So,
I don't
well,
think-
underpaying based on what the market had been for the other counties. The other counties, we would have paid that other $40 for the last day, correct?
Okay, set administration.
But we're all county taxpayers as city
Right,
residents. I mean,
it's-
we're already paying that
that
through
was
our county tax
negotiated
dollars.
in 2010. That was a big negotiated issue, was whether we were going to end up paying $80 for essentially somebody who would be in jail for five hours if they hit the, clock right. So the compromise we came up with was no matter what, we had to pay the $40, but if they got out within, the next morning, then we were going to save having to pay $80. And that was okay then. Our judge at that point was now
Okay
the
with it.
county
Sure,
judge.
and that makes,
So
it
it's
makes
a
sense.
very odd situation we're dealing with here, because he was helping negotiate on our side at that time. But anyway, that was a time when we were getting out of the jail business and needed to do this. And, we lived with it. I think everybody does a good job of living within it. I know Michael Westring pores over the invoice and looks at, for mistakes or when somebody got out, whether somebody was in on a county charge and a city charge too, which means that's a big issue too, because we don't want to pay, our fines are usually low, and if they've already served it out or can pay us, we don't want to be paying for somebody that's in their own county charges. So, but he does a good job of keeping a close tab on that, and I know he will continue to do that under this situation. And there's ways we can look at trying to manage this, and want to remind everybody, make sure they understand that this is just Class C offenses, fine-only offenses where they're detained either for maybe
Traffic
public
offenses,
intoxication
public intoxication,
is a big one that
littering.
they don't have, the police don't have they don't feel comfortable letting them go, because they're intoxicated, and assaults. But, so it's not, I think it was 400 and something.
430.
Right, and there's a lot more people that go to jail from the police our department, but they have to go to the
Right.
county jail, and they become the county's case. So at any rate, one of my questions is the $28 fee also. I don't see the justification for that there's anything different done to the city's Class C inmates that are different from the other guys. I'm not
Right.
sure. And then if we are going to be paying it, we want to make sure that our paperwork is done 100% properly, correctly, and that's just something we need to talk to them about, because there's issues that come up
Right.
with that, too, that we have to try to clean up.
Right, and that's our concern, is that, that's why I'm asking that, maybe we can just be able to talk about that $28 processing fee, because I'm not really sure what that processing fee does. I mean, technically, we do need to have some kind of contract in place, before we run out of time.
Right.
But I would like, the opportunity to meet with, Judge Taylor and the sheriff and talk about that 28 processing fee, because it's my inclination that the $40 covers the processing fee. That's for housing, feeding, medical, and all that. So, I mean, I don't understand what the $28 extra charge is for.
Right.
So as long as they can, justify it, then, justify it, we'll pay it.
Like I said, and I have no problem signing off and going. I just found it comical that neighboring counties would offer us theoretically a better rate than our home county. I mean, if the transportation wasn't an issue. So
Yeah,
that's
and
just,
if,
that's my point of
if
it
the
all.
cost is justifiable, and that's inside of there, I mean, what else do you do about it? But when you look at it, it's a negotiated contract. I'm sure they would like that money to come into that jail to help its funding. So as with any contract anywhere, I think it should be something we look at going to the county and saying, hey, this $28 fee, it's nowhere else in no other county, and let's go ahead and just wipe that out, and we'll take care of this.
Look on that.
That's what I would look at.
I like the way you said that, Commissioner, but
And then this,
easier said.
and I think maybe for the people that are here, how many days do we have people in the jail typically? It's not very many.
Typically,
We're not-
it's a day or two, but it's
Well,
like,
if our budget's doubling, that means on average, our people are there once, so we're going to end up paying $80 per person versus $40.
And that's what maybe was staggering to me, that maybe the public doesn't see inside of these numbers. It's $28 and $40 doesn't seem like much, but when you only have somebody housed for 2 days,
Or a day, 24 hours, but
it's an
it crosses.
effective increase of about 75% or so.
Because if you come in at 11 o'clock at night and you leave at 7 o'clock the next morning, that's 2
But you stay
days.
for 2 days.
So you're not even there 24 hours. You picked up $80 plus that person's $108 to walk in the door. And by looking at those budget numbers, it's actually more than a doubling. So that's the case more often than not, than somebody's there for 24 hours and they're out the door.
So it's like your hotel bill, essentially, instead of staying at the Holiday Inn for $100 a night, you're now staying for $210, $220. So, I mean, that's what's literally happened to the city here, so, to put that in.
For a jail we already
layman
pay for with our county tax. Never mind.
terms. Yeah, and that's a
Because we're all
different,
paying our county taxes as well. But that's neither here nor there.
it
All
is-
right.
it is-
You know what? I'm going to make a motion that we approve the contract as is, because I don't really think we have much of a choice at
We
this
don't have-
point.
we don't have a
So
choice.
I'll make a motion that we approve.
I don't think we have any
well,
ability to
in reality,
negotiate that.
we really don't have a choice.
Yeah, we don't have a choice. So I
don't
mean,
have a
Have a
choice.
choice.
I make a motion we approve the interlocal agreement with
Second.
Harrison County Jail Services. We
And,
got a second from Ms. Calhoun.
Yeah, expired on the 14th.
All right. Any discussions?
We're in bind, but
All right.
maybe you can negotiate that 28.
But I don't think it's gonna
I
happen.
don't think so either.
All right. Well, any further discussions?
Do what you can.
All right. With no further discussions, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion
Nay.
carries.
Nay, I say
Oh.
nay.
Nay?